Hello and welcome to the shop. Today I attempted to make what I'm going to call somewhat of a GISI style blank, G-I-S-I. You can Google GISI and you'll see what I'm talking about. If you follow me on Instagram or on What You Doing Bob, my shop update channel, you probably have already seen this blank and you already know what happened. The blank really looked fantastic. I was super excited about how it turned out. It was a slow process making it because I was learning, but now that I've built one, I have some ideas for simplifying it. I think I'll do another video on this particular blank. Hopefully the next one, like I said, will simplify the process and will actually be capable of being turned into a pen. So let me show you how I went about making this blank. I hope you enjoy the video. The piece of material you just saw me cut is called pick guard. It's usually found on guitars, and you can see it's a piece of white plastic sandwiched between two pieces of black plastic, and I cut it to the width of my blank. We're going to use it as sort of a veneer between the pieces because I think it's going to give a really nice contrast. Taking a look at the blank that I want to make, I'm going to start by cutting these top two sections. Now you'll notice there's a little bit of a thickness between the two of them. I'm estimating about 1/4 inch, and I grabbed this 1/4 inch spacer, and I'm just going to measure down on each side of the blank 1/4 inch. And I'm going to take it over to my bandsaw, put it on my sled, and we're going to start our cut here, and we'll cut our 45, one on each end of the blank, which should give us these two pieces. I brought my blank over to the bandsaw. I've got my sled set for 30-degree angles. I've got it clamped down, and you can see the 1/4 inch line that I drew on the blank. The blade is just to the inside of that line. We're going to start at the same place on both sides of this blank, and we'll make that first cut. The pieces look good together. I think they came out really nice. Next up, I want to glue a piece of this pick guard to the bottom of each of these sections. I got my 4 segments cut. Next up, we're going to glue the pick guard to the bottom of each of these 4 segments. I'm gluing my pieces to the pick guard with a medium CA. Once that CA fully cures, I'll take this to the bandsaw and separate each of the segments. You'll notice on these 2 segments that there is a little overlap on the inside and outside. I'm going to take my segmenting sled over to the disc sander and set it for 90 degrees, and I'll just lightly touch those against the disc, and it'll square that right up with the blank. Now that I've got these 2 segments cleaned up, I'm going to go ahead and glue them together, making sure that the pick guard aligns on both sides, and that'll give me a really nice pattern. I've got the top segment cleaned up and glued together. Next up, we want to clean these up and get them glued to this piece. I'm ready to start working on this center section. I've got a piece of wood here. I don't know what it is, but I've cut it to a 1/4 inch thickness. I'm going to take this pick guard. You can see I've already roughed it up with some sandpaper. We'll cut it in half and we'll glue it to the left and right side of this piece of wood. I've got the pick guard glued to both sides of this center piece of wood. Now what I want to do is I'm going to split this piece of wood in half, and I'm going to go ahead and get it glued up to the pick guard, one on each side, to where I can come back and retrim this to get my 30-degree angle on both sides and give me a nice little 30-degree right at the center tip of this so that it'll fit into the top section of my blank. You'll notice a bunch of lines on my blank. I've got a line here and a line here, and what those represent is the tube. This is so I can kind of get an idea, a visual of just how much of this blank will go on the tube. This is a standard Sierra tube. You'll notice these lines here and here. I went and found the center of my blank and I measured over, and this is 3/4 inch from here to here, which is the thickness of the blank. So I'm going to go ahead to the saw and I'm going to trim off the left and right side at 3/4 inch so that I've got a more manageable blank to work with. And then this line here is just kind of I eyeballed that. I was initially going to put a 1/4 inch piece of wood in the bottom of the blank, but since it's getting to where, I just don't have a great deal of room to work with since these were so thick, I think I'm going to pass and just put a piece of pick guard in there just to split the bottom of the blank up a little bit. Here's the blank. Overall, I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. This has been a learning experience. Like I said, this is not perfect. This is the first time I've done one of these, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for improvement. You'll notice I expected to have a piece going all the way across the bottom there, but these were so large, I thought it would just be overpowering, so I went ahead and simplified it by just segmenting the blank. I think next time these will probably be 1/8 of an inch in thickness, and then I'll go ahead and add the one at the bottom. But this is ready to go. I've got a Sierra tube, and it's the perfect length. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get this drilled up and I'll turn it. I won't be doing the turning on camera, but I will come back and show you what the finished pin looks like. Well, guys, I was hoping when I showed this to you that it would look a little better than this. You know, stuff happens. I'm going to kind of attribute this to CA, and I know what you guys say. It's the same thing every time. Why do you use CA? Why don't you use epoxy? And under normal circumstances, if I was making this pin for somebody or for myself, I would use epoxy. I use CA for the videos because I only have a couple of hours in the shop at any given time, and CA is so quick. But when it comes to super delicate work like this, it's just not ideal. So I think you'll see, well, I don't think, I know you'll see this blank again. I mean, this part of the blank's perfect. I probably will just clean it up and just basically build the top part back on. But I think I'll do that with epoxy. I don't think I'll attempt these segmented blanks with CA any longer. Lesson learned on that. I do want to say that I learned quite a bit from making this blank, and I'm hoping I can come up with some ideas to simplify some of the tasks. And next time I show you a video about this particular style, I'm hoping to be able to, help you make the pin more efficiently. This took a lot of time, going one piece at a time, but overall, I'm happy with my time I spent in the shop. I learned a great deal. This is something I've been wanting to try for a long time. I thought the blank looked fantastic prior to turning. It just wasn't meant to be. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed that. Even when things don't go as planned, there's a lot to be learned, and just spending time in the shop figuring out problems is what it's all about for me. I love it. And I had a great time working on this blank. A little disappointed it didn't turn out. It is what it is, but you will see this style blank again, probably more than once, because I really like this style blank and I want to figure it out, and I want to give you guys a real simple way to put one of these together that's going to stay together when you drill it and when you turn it. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I want you to know that you are always welcome in my shop. Come back and see me again real soon, and have a great evening, everybody.